Good evening. My name is Andrea Jenkins. I am the president of the Minneapolis City Council, and I will now call to order this adjourned meeting for October 25th and ask the clerk to please call the roll to verify the presence of a quorum.
Councilmember Goodman.
Present.
Councilmember Wansley.
Present.
Councilmember Johnson is absent. Councilmember Osmond.
Present.
Councilmember Payne.
Present.
Councilmember Koski is absent. Councilmember Shugtai.
Present.
Councilmember Chavez.
Present.
Councilmember Ellison is absent. Councilmember Vitoff.
Present.
Councilmember Rainville.
Present.
Councilmember Koski.
Present.
Vice President Palmisano.
Present.
President Jenkins.
Present.
There are 11 members present.
Let the record reflect that we do have a quorum. Colleagues, today's agenda is before us. I would accept a motion to adopt the agenda.
So moved.
Second.
Is there any questions or comments from my colleagues? Seeing none, clerk, please call the roll.
Councilmember Goodman.
Aye.
Councilmember Wansley.
Aye.
Councilmember Osmond.
Aye.
Councilmember Payne.
Aye.
Councilmember Koski.
Aye.
Councilmember Shugtai.
Aye.
Councilmember Chavez.
Aye.
Councilmember Ellison.
Aye.
Councilmember Vitoff.
Aye.
Councilmember Rainville.
Aye.
Vice President Palmisano.
Aye.
President Jenkins.
Aye.
There are 12 ayes.
That carries and the agenda is adopted. We have one agenda item tonight, which is to receive public comments on the mayor's recommended 2024 budget. Mayor Fry presented his budget on August 15th, providing a proposed fiscal plan for the city's operations in 2024 totaling $1.8 billion, with an increase to the city's property tax levy of about 6.2%. A copy of the mayor's recommended budget is posted to the city's website, which is available at minneapolis.mn.gov/budget. And I do want to recognize that Mayor Fry has joined us this evening. Good evening, Mayor Fry. Since that time, the council, through its budget committee under the leadership of Councilmember Koski, has conducted a series of hearings to examine the details of each department's budget requests. All of those meetings were broadcast on public access television and from the city's website, and on-demand access to those broadcasts, which are still available from the city's YouTube channel. Tonight's public hearing is the first of 3 hearings the city will conduct on the proposed 2024 budget. The Budget Committee will conduct a second public hearing on November 1st at 10 a.m., and our third and final public hearing, which will be the statutorily required Truth and Taxation hearing, and that's scheduled for December 5th, also at 6:05 p.m. And so now, before we open the floor to public comments, I will recognize our interim budget manager, Jane DeCenza, who will provide a brief summary of the proposed budget. Good evening, Ms. DeCenza.
Good evening, Council President, Council members, Mayor Fry. Happy to be with you tonight. I'll just give a very brief grounding to the budget information before we get started tonight. Our agenda is very quick, so I'll orient us to the budget process, which you've already largely done, and then give some very high-level information on the city's spending and revenue picture for 2024. So the budget and budget documents that we produce are for the benefit both of residents as well as policymakers. The budget documents that you'll find on the city's website describe a great deal of the services and outcomes for residents. How are we directing funds? What are the results that we can expect from those investments? And those can be found in the program narrative sections of the budget book. We also seek to highlight changes in that budget. So always advancing transparency in decision-making, whether that be a change made by the mayor or by the council. We have a fulsome budget proposal narrative section for each of those changes that describe the change, the impact, and how it will impact city goals and residents. And then we also have a 5-year financial direction and broad financial outlook that emphasizes the need for multi-year planning in order to produce a responsible budget. So we start the budget process in January with the current service level. As you all know, that's the people and the programs that the council approved in the prior year. We push those forward and price them accordingly. Departments then get a few months to prioritize those existing funds and think about any needed changes to their budget. The summer, they present to the mayor on any changes that they're proposing, and then the mayor gets a few months to make some decisions broadly about the budget and about any new investments. On August 15th, we have the recommended budget presented, and then in September, the Board of Estimate and Taxation sets that maximum levy. So from that point forward, the council can lower the levy or keep it the same, but cannot exceed what the BET approved. So as the council president said, we've just concluded 2 months of presentations from each department on their base budgets and any recommended changes. And now we're beginning the public hearing phase of the budget process. Soon council members will be deliberating on and preparing amendments throughout October and November. And then we have budget adoption as well as that final public hearing on the 5th. So very briefly, city spending. This is a $1.8 billion budget for 2024, which represents about a $60 million increase from the 23 adopted budget. As you can see, there's growth from the prior years. This level of spending is accomplished with the 6.2% levy increase, which is what was planned for in that adopted biennial budget that you all considered in December of 2022. The spending includes those current service level adjustments as well as new investments. So departments, when they're seeking new funding, are asked to address how that funding aligns with city priorities, what it does regarding racial equity impacts, and any anticipated results. In our budget documents, we break these down by priority area, and the pie chart on this slide demonstrates that. I encourage people to get into the budget book for more detail there. So overall, we're looking at about $48.4 million in new investments in the 24 budget. Revenue is also $1.8 billion. That is largely new dollars flowing into the city as well as some uses of accumulated fund balance. As you can see from here, the charges for services and sales and taxes are the two biggest components of our revenue picture. And we're also accounting for new revenue from the state. We had increased LGA reflected in this budget, as well as a new metro area sales tax that supports affordable housing. Property tax levy is that 6.2%, which is in line with the biennial budget plan. So that raises about $27.7 million for the city in 2024. Property taxes are a complicated calculation, and our assessing department continues to work on that throughout the year. But we're estimating that it will result in about $150 to $160 increase for the average or the median single-family home in the city. And we do encourage folks to check out the levy impact estimator that assessing puts out. It is an estimate, but this is just a sample of what you can see. If you want to get into more detail on the impact on residential or commercial, if you want to take a look at the impact by ward, that's available as well. And so with that, I will conclude.
Thank you, Ms. DeCinta. My microphone was not working properly. So before I recognize the first speaker for our public hearing, I want to review a few procedural matters. If you have written comments or materials to submit, please give those to the clerks at the registration table. We also have printed comment forms available at the registration table if you'd like to submit a comment on this proposal and have that included in the public record of this matter. I would also encourage everyone to take advantage of submitting your comments about the budget in other ways. The easiest way to submit your comments and to ensure that they are included in the public record is to send those from the city's website, to send those to the city's website at minneapolismn.gov public comment. slash public comment. I'm sorry, I'll repeat that. Minneapolis mn.gov/public comment. All submitted comments will be included in the public record related to the 2024 budget, which is accessible via the city's Legislative Information Management System, or LIMS, in file number 2023/00739. We will be taking speakers in the order that they have registered. If you would like to testify, I invite you to register your name with the clerks at the table in the hallway outside of this chamber. Every speaker should have an assigned number. We will be calling speakers by number. Because we are limited on available seating in this room, there is an overflow room across the hall, room 319, where the public can monitor this meeting. Each registered speaker will be given 2 minutes to address the council. We have a timer available to help speakers monitor the use of their time. We ask that you wrap up your comments when your time has expired so that we can accommodate all of the speakers today. We also ask that everyone be respectful of all of our speakers and of all opinions offered. We have arranged for interpretation for those who may need assistance to participate in tonight's hearing. If you require assistance, please let us know. We have interpreters for those who speak Spanish, Somali, Ormo, and Hmong. I understand that we have 42 people registered to speak tonight. And again, before I open the floor, I'll invite anyone who hasn't already registered and wishes to speak to register with the clerks at the table in the hallway outside of this chamber. We also ask that each speaker self-identify for the public record before you begin your comments. With that, we're ready to open our public hearing. And the first 5 speakers who are registered to speak are Gregory Fosch. I'm sorry, what was that?
Yes.
Fosch?
Yes.
All right. Patrice Kelch, Scott Yar, Dan Turner, and David McNight. Welcome, Greg. Number 1.
Nothing like being first. Well, thank you, President, council members, and Mayor. My name is Gregory Fosch, and I work solid waste and recycling. And it's nice to see you guys. I've met a couple of you guys before, Mr. Northeast, we all know who you are. And I'd like to invite actually more of you guys to come see us every now and then and visit us. And they actually gave offers. They said, hey, we'll go out and ride on a truck with you guys. I'd love to see you guys come do that once. And just to see what we go through. And really what I'm here to talk about, I'm going to be the short one, is I'm just want to say that how tough our job is and what we go through. Not only with the biohazards, the encampments, the unrest, 30 below weather, slush in the alleys. I mean, the mailman really has nothing on us, okay? And we're starting to fall behind a little bit as far as the pay goes. I mean, our pay raise has been 1.5%, 2.5%, and the cost of living is 6%, okay? A lot of these guys work 2 jobs just to make ends meet, okay? And we've hired private contractors to come help us because we are short bodies. Well, the private contractors that come to help us out make $10 more an hour than we do. And they're doing the exact same job that we do, and we don't feel that that's fair, okay? And it's a rewarding, unrewarding job sometimes. And like I say, you can tell by the way I walk up here, how I walk. All the young guys call it the garbage man walk, okay? And that's, you know, having 2 knees replaced for doing garbage for 20-something years, okay? But the best part is right before I came in here, one of the residents said, oh, you work solid waste recycling, and she said, thank you. We hear that every day, and that's the best part of this job. But we just need to catch up. When I first started, they were lined up around the corner for the job, and they're not no more. And we need to catch up with everybody else. And so with that, I close, and I thank you all very much.
Thank you. And can we just ask, state your name and your address for the record, please.
Good evening. My name is Patrice Kelch, and I've lived in the Seward neighborhood for 4 decades. I'm here today to urge you to focus the $10 million in the proposed 2024 budget for the Climate and Equity Plan on a pilot program to be sited in the North and South Green Zones. This pilot would take several city blocks and fully realize the plan's vision for completely weatherized, decarbonized, electrified homes that would not depend on fossil fuels. This would demonstrate what is possible and also what is needed to go to scale to make sure that everyone is included in a clean energy, climate-resilient future. To go to scale, the city will have to take responsibility for securing the generous funds available through the Inflation Reduction Act and in exercising leadership in coordinating and implementing climate and sustainability programs from federal, state, and county sources. The city will also have the opportunity next year to recover funds from polluters to make sure that they contribute to a robust and dedicated funding stream to make climate justice a reality. If there is the political will to make this happen, we can have a city where everyone lives in a climate-resilient, healthy neighborhood. Thank you very much for your consideration.
Thank you so much. Our next speaker is Scott Yar.
Good evening, councilpersons and mayor. My name is Scott Yar. I reside at 223 Franklin Avenue West in Minneapolis. I was born at St. Barnabas Hospital before it was called HCMC. I grew up in Longfellow neighborhood. I attended and graduated from South High School. I drove a Minneapolis taxi cab in the 90s and dispatched 911 emergency services for the city in the 2000s. Drove Metro Transit in the 2010s, and now I serve the residents of the city in public works, surface water, and sewer. I have lived in this beautiful city pretty much my entire life. I am here before you to simply say that me and my union brothers and sisters may not be police or firefighters, but we serve this city in many capacities that are considered emergencies. We put our lives on the line in some form every day, rather it be in a tunnel 100 feet below the surface of downtown, or a construction ditch, or the pearls of traffic in the middle of the street. Let's not forget we are the ones who collect the city's garbage and recycling, repair the streets, bridges, and infrastructure of the city. We snowplow and many other services I may have forgotten to mention. We have worked during pandemics, civil unrest, adverse weather conditions, and the unique challenges of working with the unfortunate unhoused residents of this fair city. The things we are asked to do and see when told to remove the persons from the unhoused communities can be traumatic to both the residents and ourselves. And we do this without the ability to work from home. We will always be on the front lines of the city's needs. The message I wish to convey this evening is, during the coming contract negotiations, this esteemed body be fair and just. I ask of you to look at the data our union will provide to understand just how underpaid we are. I understand this council has a lot of people to take care of, but we are also the family of this city. I
Thank
love this
you,
city
Mr.
and
Yar.
hope to continue to serve it for as long as possible. Thank you.
So much. Our next speaker is Dan Turner.
Good evening, and my name is Dan Turner. I live in the Seward neighborhood. I've lived there for 42 years. A lot of neighbors here. Thanks for listening to my comments. I'm addressing the $10 million in the budget toward the Climate and Equity Plan. Passing the Climate and Equity Plan and devoting $10 million to a first year of implementing it is a great start, so thank you. Well done. But it's only a start. Meeting our carbon reduction targets is going to require much, much more in funding, in workforce development, in focused commitment. If the city follows through in a sustained and systematic fashion, over the next 10 years, we have an opportunity to make sure every Minneapolis resident lives in a safe, healthy, climate-resilient neighborhood. It will not be enough if only wealthier, more connected residents are able to take advantage of the city's carbon reduction efforts. That's the piecemeal, business as usual approach, and it's both unjust and inadequate to meeting the climate crisis. Neighborhoods most harmed by past pollution injustices should be given top priority, and the program should be rolled out block by block. Given the enormity and cost of the climate threat, the response must be adequate to the task. The city needs leadership to secure funding from the many sources now available, to make and sustain the commitment and take responsibility over multiple years to address adequately the threat of an unlivable future. On this issue, the city must get out of the business as usual business.
Thank you so much, Mr. Turner. And our next speaker is David McKnight.
My name is David McKnight. I'm a public works employee. I represent solid waste and recycle. The reason why I came here to speak tonight, we have been overworked and underpaid, and I can't stress that enough. Overworked and underpaid. We've worked through the George Floyd riots, we've worked through the COVID, and we were always on the front lines. And we handle everything possible from the unhoused encampment cleanups to just about anything else that is considered to be a nuisance to the city. If you look at some of the major cities in the United States, Minneapolis right now does not meet some of those other salaries. We've gone times with contracts with no raise, which I think is a tragedy. And like I said, I'm just here just to let you all know that it's really about time that, the city really addresses our needs. Everybody that I work with in our division, they're here because they want to be here. It's not a glamorous job, but they take pride in their city. I'm a longtime resident of Minneapolis, first living in Willard Hay, which is Ward 5. Now I live Ward 7. And we have pride. And we want to see the city, recognize that pride and reward us for the hard work that we do. That's really the bottom line to this. I know our last raise that we had in the contract, it was just eaten by inflation. You didn't even see it. It didn't matter because it's not even a cost of living increase to keep up. One of the things I want to touch on was in regards to that, there are a lot of people in our division who have to supplement their income, and with as hard as we work, a daytime job, then you go, now you got to go work, a whole nother job to do whatever just to make ends meet. So
Thank you,
I just
Mr.
want to
McKnight.
say that.
Thank you so much for your comments. So our next 5 speakers are Mitchell Clendenin, Carrick SAR Becker, Carol Becker, Andrea Corbin, and Monica Smith. Welcome, Mr. Clendenin.
Thank you. Good afternoon, City Council members. My name is Mitchell Clendenin. I live at 3000 California Street Northeast. I am a lifelong resident of our great city, Minneapolis, and I have been a civil servant in our city since I was 18 years old. I started at such a young age because when I was growing up, my grandparents and relatives always told me that if you wanted a good job, go work for the city. Mm-hmm. Because the city takes care of the people that take care of the city. But sadly, that reality has been getting further and further away with every passing year. I, like most of my fellow 363 members, are living paycheck to paycheck. Personally, faced with this dilemma, me and my partner have made the decision to delay starting our family because our combined income barely covers the cost of living in our city. That's why I implore you guys to bring back the days when our city actually took care of the people, that took care of the city. Back to the days when the city cared. Thank you.
Thank you. Our next speaker is Carrick SAR Becker.
Good evening. Thank you for hearing my statement tonight. My name is Carrick SAR Becker. I'm a resident of Ward 8 and a member of Local 363. I wish to speak on the proposed budget. Myself and my constituents understand budgeting issues. We're forced to face them every day. I pay $985 a month for a one-bedroom in South Minneapolis for rent. This is the time for you to take a deeply reflective look at how you are spending our tax money. As you consider where our money goes, I urge you to think of the households that rely on you to provide livable wages as part of your budget plan. For those of us living paycheck to paycheck, as Mitchell said, that's most of us, this reality is a reality that we face every day. This affects how I personally choose to spend my time. I'm passionate about volunteering within my community, which is why I chose to be a civil servant. I'm a returned U.S. Peace Corps volunteer from Senegal, West Africa. I'm a co-chair for our local 363 contract action team. I'm the information officer for our local Minnesota Society of Arboriculture chapter. I instruct new tree climbers on climbing gear and safety, and I advise residents about tree planting and tree care. However, as inflation and the cost of living increases and my budget shrinks, I'm forced to choose between community engagement and financial endeavors to pay bills. Now, I'm in a very privileged position. How many of us are not choosing which organizations to volunteer our time with, but making much more difficult decisions? We are the people keeping the city running. Water treatment, stormwater management, sewers, sanitation, streets, and so many more. Help us help you keep this city running for the benefit of all by providing livable wages and a fair contract. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. SAR Becker. Our next speaker is Carol Becker.
I'm not that tall. Hi, I'm Carol Becker. I'm from Ward 12, and I am here today to talk to you about the open streets contract. I have been doing government, I don't know, maybe 40-some years now, and wanted to talk about how immoral and unethical it is to allow lobbying firms to get money from the city of Minneapolis to use that money to lobby the city of Minneapolis. That in this whole time, and I've probably easily handled $100 million of contracts, I have never seen where we have allowed a government contractor to use the resources from government to lobby the government. I think the open streets are great. I think they're fun. I think they're awesome. I think, though, that if you're going to have a contractor do this work, then you should hire a contractor who actually does event planning and event putting on, and then does not use that money to come back and lobby the city. It's not Chicago. We're not Chicago. We're not New York. We don't do graft. And so if you are going to consider putting money into the budget, because I know I just checked this morning, they had sent you 7,200 emails using their social media tools, and you're being hammered. I'm just asking, don't fall for it, because it's immoral and unethical to use our taxpayer money to give it to a special lobbying group and to have them then lobby you. Also, yay unions, give them a raise, people. I'm a union member, not theirs, but government has not given its raises to people anywhere near what inflation has been. So thank you very much.
Thank you, Ms. Becker. Thank you, Ms. Becker. Our next speaker, number 9, is Andrea Corbin.
Thank you for hearing me. I own Flower Bar. It's a flower shop on Lyndale Avenue, and I represent 74 businesses on Lyndale. We pay $5.1 million in property taxes alone. Many of the businesses are minority-owned. We applaud the city for not renewing the contract with Our Streets Minneapolis to host open streets. Please continue to do the right thing and not to fund a lobby group who turns around and lobbies you, the city. The majority voice is in a serious and unfair disadvantage, up against a $1.2 million budget. We are running our businesses and don't have resources or time to create a lobby group to keep parking on our street, to keep our doors open, and we shouldn't have to. We are being drowned out by a voice that is posing as the majority, and they are not. Our new roadway designs needs a checks and balances system to make sure they're in fact reducing our carbon footprint instead of increasing them due to circling for parking, traffic backups, and disturbing the quiet enjoyment of our neighboring streets. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Corbin. Our next speaker is number 10, Monica Smith.
Good evening, council members and mayor. My name is Monica Smith, and I live on the block of 21st and Penn Avenue North. I'm a graduate of Minneapolis North High School. I've raised all of my children on the north side of Minneapolis, and I am an employee of almost 24 years for the city of Minneapolis. I have seen many changes here in the city, particularly the crime. As you've heard the testimonies of my other coworkers, everything that they say is absolute fact. We don't just have the water, street, sewer, and sanitation, but we go further than that, from ramps to paving and many others. We're also under the same umbrella as the police department, being Public Works. I ask this: we deserve higher wages, because the competitive wages that we're looking at out there, it doesn't meet hand in hand. If you listen to all the departments that I have named, think about what they each do for not just the city, but each of you. We feed off of one another. One department does not work without the other. And in order for us to help you, you gotta help us. With that being said, I ask that you look at your budget, think hard, give us some dignity, love, and respect. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much. And so our next 5 speakers, 11 through 15, AJ Lang, John McCardell, Saeed Wadi, Rod Adams, and Veronica Mendes Moore. Good evening, AJ.
Thank you, President Jenkins, council members, mayor. My name's AJ Lang. I'm the business manager with Local 363, and I'm here today submitting this petition with hundreds of signatures from your employees and constituents in support of this letter that I'll be submitting as well and read for you now. We, the proud Minneapolis public workers and members of LiUNA Local 363, demand that the city budget for a fair wage offer that reflects the value of our work, the challenges we face, the sacrifices we make, and our strong commitment to providing the core public services that our community depends on. City leadership must make it their highest budget priority to direct significant investment towards their frontline workers. Through unprecedented challenges our city has faced in recent years, a global health crisis, civil unrest, citywide encampments of the unhoused, we've been the glue that held our city together. We show up every day to put our skills to work maintaining Minneapolis's water, sewer, trash, recycling, streets, bridges, traffic signs, lights, ramps, public housing, parks, rec centers, pools, urban forests. We do the work that makes the city work. The city must take immediate action to address its retention and recruitment crisis that has led to overworked, burnt-out employees, unsafe working conditions, and ultimately a reduction in the quality of public services and a waste of taxpayer dollars. This can only be achieved with a budget that directs the funding necessary to restore dignity to the men and women whose labor is essential to our community. Minneapolis should be setting the bar for wages, benefits, and working conditions, not perpetuating a race to the bottom. Despite our ongoing efforts in service of our community, during recent years, we've been forced to endure a pay cut of over 10% in real terms. We are a diverse group of employees. We are residents of Minneapolis. We're committed public servants. Unfortunately, we're also often overlooked and most
Thank
impacted.
you so much, Mr. Lang.
When inadequate raises
Please
are met with
respect
high
the time
inflation.
limit, Mr. Lang.
Workers have
Everyone else
budgets,
has.
too.
Please respect the time limit, sir. You can submit this letter to
I
our
will.
public comments. Thank you so
The
much. Our
budget is
next
a moral
speaker is
document.
John McCardell.
Invest in your work.
Thank you, sir.
Okay. My name is John McCardell. I'm co-owner of ZRS Fossils and Gifts at 3018 Lindale Avenue South in Minneapolis. We have been at that location for 16 years. I'm here today to share our experiences with the organization called Open Streets and to request that the city of Minneapolis sever all general and financial ties with that organization and their affiliated organizations. The first Open Streets event was in South Minneapolis on Lindale Avenue outside of it. The people approached us. They seemed very sincere. It seemed like a good idea, so we participated and supported it. Our experience was that on that particular Sunday, we had significant loss of income, significant increased costs. We finally decided it was in our best interest to simply close every time that the event was taken on. From the few personal interactions I had directly with people from Open Streets and some of their biker friends, they all seem very passionate about their thing, their particular views. They, however, have no sympathy or understanding of what it takes to build a business, to try to see it survive through a recession, through riots, through a pandemic, and to serve the local community. I have no indication that they really care about the local businesses that they're there. I think it's important that you understand that these people have more than one simple agenda. They are not just about having a festival a couple times a year. They are actively lobbying elected officials, government employees, and the general public to take actions that we believe would likely destroy our business and those of our fellow Lindale Avenue commercial corridor merchants. These people have already, in my opinion, eviscerated the commercial corridors on Bryant and Hennepin Avenues. 4 businesses in our immediate neighborhood have already decided that they are not going to renew their leases and they're going to leave Minneapolis. And they are doing this specifically because they are afraid that the biker organizations are going to do to Lindale Avenue what they did to Hennepin and to Bryant Avenues. You're losing some of your tax base, and I personally resent that any of my taxes that I pay would be used to support these organizations. Thank you for your time.
Thank you so much. Our next speaker is Saeed Wadi.
President, Council Member, Mayor, thank you for having us over here. I want to join the voice with my business partners over here. I own a business on Lindale, and we love Open Street. For 12 years, we supported them with everything, knowing that this one day is amazing and a beautiful day. Just to learn that they are stabbing the businesses in the back by requesting to the county that they remove the street parking and make dedicated bike lane and bus lane. Lindale Avenue is the last vibrant area in Uptown. As we all know, if you walk or drive on Hennepin, a lot of businesses left the area because of what's happening on Lindale. And I think if we allow this to continue happening to Lindale, it will go even to Nicollet, and God knows where they're gonna stop. They are lobbying with federal money, and this is unacceptable. As a business owner, I have 70 employees that we hire, and we're thriving, we're doing really well, but 50% of my business depend on parking. And if we lose parking because of Open Street keep pushing the idea that we don't need street parking and reduce cars in the street, I will leave Minneapolis. I lose my business, first of all, and go bankrupt, and the whole thing that goes with it, which maybe you don't care, and that's okay. But we are the small businesses that help the people work, that we help economy. I pay $250,000 of collected sales tax in my business that the city will lose. Please do not give them any money, and I am not supporting Open Street happening on Lindale ever again. Thank you.
Thank you. Our next speaker is Rod Adams. Welcome.
Thank you, Council President. My name is Rod Adams. I'm the Executive Director of the New Justice Project Minnesota. I'm here to testify on behalf of increasing the base funding for the co-enforcement partnership between the city and community organizations. So, the New Justice Project is unfortunately one of the few organizations whose programming focuses directly on Black workers, both educating them on their rights, but also uncovering issues and violations inside of their workplace. Said simply, this issue is not an issue of worker education, but an issue of racial equity. With so few organizations doing the outreach to Black workers, investing in workers from marginalized communities is a significant step towards racial equity in Minneapolis, and furthers the city goals of eliminating racial disparities, goals that most of the folks on this council have stated as goals individually. The co-enforcement model works to that end. The work may seem to be in the background or maybe even seem to be unimportant, but the facts are clear. Black and Latinx workers are the city's most vulnerable. These workers are 3 to 4 times more likely to experience wage theft, among other violations. And if the city is truly committed to equity in protecting the most vulnerable workers, then the budget will reflect that by a commitment to fully funding co-enforcement. Additionally, there's also tons of data that shows the co-enforcement partnership is working, has been very effective in the education of workers. Here are a few. So it has led to over $1.6 million in stolen wages being recovered and tens of thousands of workers being trained across the city on their rights. Last year alone, 400 workers participated in Know Your Rights trainings over 300 workplaces in Minneapolis. Collectively, our organizations reached over 12,000 workers in Minneapolis through our outreach. Additionally, a recent Rutgers report also confirmed that targeted enforcement by the Labor Standards Enforcement Division and community partners has helped to successfully uncover and resolve wage theft in high violation industries. But the report also says that violations remain widespread across these industries, and large majority remain undetected when resolved. Now is the time to fully invest in co-enforcement. Thank y'all.
Thank you so much. Our next speaker is Veronica Mendes.
Hello, good evening, Council and Mayor. My name is Veronica Mendes. I'm a co-director of Seagull, who is one of the core partners in the co-enforcement work with the City of Minneapolis, together with the New Justice Project and the Restaurant Opportunities Center of Minnesota. And Rod said the numbers. I don't need to tell you the numbers. It is clear that this has worked, and we have been building this partnership with the city over the last 5 years and made it more and more powerful each year. Yet, every year, we have to come before the council and say, please, please, can we have more money to be able to fully fund this work? We want to see this work fully funded in an ongoing way. And right now, because that did not happen, at least that hasn't happened yet, we want to see a one-time increase for this year of $225,000. That doesn't get us to ending all of the wage theft in our city. That doesn't get us to bringing all the employers into compliance or training every single worker, but it goes a long way to actually make sure that the most vulnerable workers in our communities, workers of color in minimum wage jobs, actually have the tools that they need to fight to make sure that their rights are respected. And I'm not just saying they get their rights respected. I'm saying what we are providing is leadership development, information, so that workers can stand up for themselves. Because if people can't stand up for themselves, then the law is just a piece of paper. We need workers to be able to know what processes, what steps to take, how they can talk to their coworkers. And Rod said the numbers. We've won back over $1.6 million. And that's just our numbers. That's in addition to the money that the LSED has already been able to recover for workers. And I say that because I think that the work that we do, like that amount of money shows the impact, but also that doesn't even count the thousands and thousands and probably hundreds of thousands of dollars that we have prevented from being stolen out of workers' pockets, because workers now have the tools to say, hey, I'm not okay with you not paying me minimum wage, or I'm not okay with you not paying me, and have the courage and the tools to stand up.
For your comments. Thank you. So our next speakers, 16 through 20, Brian Kromke, Ishman Ahmed, Alex Alio, Hannah Merill, and John Wirtz. Good evening.
Thank you for the opportunity to talk, council members, mayor. My name is Brian Kroenke. I grew up in Ward 7. I live there now. I'm a voter in Ward 7. I want to first thank you for all the progress made on the Climate Equity Plan. I'm here tonight as a volunteer for Unidos, Minnesota. And I just want to leave this an encouragement, just think big, go as far and hard as you can. This is a chance for Minneapolis to invest in equity, in racial equity. I grew up bused to cities, to schools in other parts of the city that were, say, more racially diverse than Kenwood. And I've been keenly aware of the kind of inequities from a young age. And it's time for Minneapolis to invest in this opportunity to make a climate refuge, a climate future, a climate home for many people, us and those that are going to be coming more and more from the South. And again, I want to thank you and just encourage you to dream it big because it's our time. Thank you.
Thank you. Speaker number 17, Ishma Begum.
Good evening, everyone. Thank you for hearing my support for the proposal. My name is Ishma Begum, renter in Ward 10, and I'm glad to be giving my first public testimony today. My road here began when my parents decided to move from Bangladesh to Minnesota back in '94. I used to wonder why they traded tropical winters for sub-zero winters, but I've come to know it was because of the welcoming immigration policies, standout schools, educators, and overall dazzling quality of life we have here in the metro. It is because of my upbringing here that I was able to build a comfortable life for myself in uptown Minneapolis. Climate change is making life harder for those I know back in Bangladesh and for us right here in Minneapolis. That became clear to me when I was on a trip back to Bangladesh in 2019. I saw the heartbreaking juxtaposition of a country rapidly developing, but at the same time acutely threatened by rising sea levels. Flying back to MSP, I realized I couldn't just stand by. From rising sea levels there to wildlife smoke here in Minneapolis, we deserve a better future. Through the 100% campaign, I helped win 100% clean energy at the Capitol this year. Now it's time for Minneapolis residents to gain the benefits. Minneapolis is uniquely equipped to set an example for the rest of the state, country, and the world when it comes to the clean energy transition. By channeling funds toward workforce development and block-by-block energy efficiency upgrades, especially for those who can benefit the most, Minneapolis can uphold the same trend of progress that made my quality of life possible. I want the same trajectory for everyone who is growing up and will continue to grow up in this resilient, beautiful, and enterprising city, and I hope you do too.
Thank you, sir. Our next speaker, number 18, Alex Alioto.
Hello. My name is Alex Alioto, and I live in the Armitage neighborhood of Minneapolis. I applaud the council's recent passing of a $10 million budget for the Minneapolis Climate Equity Plan. Dramatic action is necessary to mitigate the worst consequences of climate change, and this budget is a wonderful first step. However, I fear that renters like myself will be left behind by the actual implementation of this plan. A truly equitable climate plan must ensure that every home and every person benefits from the plan. I am asking the council to ensure that this Minneapolis Climate Equity Plan supports all residents, both renters and homeowners, ability to access all federal, state, and city funding for this plan, and to ensure that we all get the benefits. Thank you.
Thank you. Speaker number 19, Hannah Merill.
Hello, Madam President and Council. Thanks for having us. My name is Hannah Merill. I live in Ward 4, and I'm a leader with the Young Adult Coalition of Isaiah, and I am here today in support of climate legacy funding. I am so excited for the possibilities which come along with the recently passed $10 million dedicated to climate. Thank you for voting for our future. As excited as I am, and I am, I forced people in public to talk about it, like in the grocery store, and got my hair cut yesterday and talked to my stylist. I also know that just passing money isn't enough. We need something bold. For too long, corporate polluters and utilities have invested in polluting systems that have led to undeniable damage to our air and water, and yet the responsibility for cleaning it up continuously falls on us as individuals, and it's confusing. Personally, I had to replace my furnace last December during the first cold weekend, and I recently found out last week that I only got one of the several credits and rebates that I was eligible for, which could have saved me hundreds, if not thousands of dollars that I didn't really have to spend in the first place. The system as it exists right now of access to climate funding leaves out so many of us who don't have time or energy to figure it out. It leaves out our neighbors in mixed status families. It leaves out anyone without enough money to fund these projects up front before filing for a rebate or tax credit, and that's a lot of Minneapolis residents. We need dedicated, equitably raised climate funding, which we've put up down payment for, and it needs to go to a project that's city-directed and coordinated that allows us to take full advantage of federal, state, and city funding at scale, block by block and home by home. Full decarbonization and weatherization is a big goal, but it starts with beginning to end pilot programs that demonstrate what's possible. It starts with a city council who's ready to lead on this, to set guidelines and metrics to assess real and measurable success, to make sure things move forward. It's going to require leadership, your leadership. You voted for this plan, and that's good. It's a good plan. A plan where every person...
Thank you, Hannah.
Awesome. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Speaker number 20, John Wertz.
Mayor Fry, Council, thank you for hearing myself and my coworkers. In the past few years, you've asked us to show up at our jobs through COVID, civil unrest, homeless encampments, cleanup. Many of the hazards in these homeless encampments include bodily waste, weapons, numerous other hazards I'm not even listing. Because of these situations and the pay discrepancies between ourselves and the surrounding communities and municipalities, the city is having a hard time filling current positions. Because of that, they are hiring from the outside union to fill these spots. And they're paying these union members $10 to $12 an hour, doing the same work as we are, shoulder to shoulder, side by side. These temporary workers, seasonal workers, bail out in the wintertime, and they're not there to remove the snow and the ice and keep this city functioning. I encourage you to talk to AJ, our business agent, in more details what I just touched on. Again, thank you for your time, Mayor, Council. Thank you.
Thank you so much. So our next 5 speakers are Maria Vasquez, Felice Castine, Randy Seagull, Kawhi Washburn, and Russell Brown.
Sí, buenas noches. Oh, estamos.
Thank you, sir.
Buenas noches a todos.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Mi nombre es María Vázquez, vivo en la ciudad de San Pablo. Soy miembro de CETUL y estoy fungiendo en la mesa directiva.
Hi, my name is Maria Vasquez. I am a member of CETUL, and I'm a member of the board of CETUL.
Y necesito comentarles una experiencia no muy buena. En el pasado, patrones que me han robado mi salario en diferentes formas.
I've had many times where bosses have stolen my wages in different ways.
Yo no sabía a quién acudir para denunciar este hecho.
And I didn't know who to talk to when it happened.
Hasta que conocí CETUL.
Until I met CETUL.
En CETUL aprendí que yo podía denunciar y yo como trabajadora tenía mis derechos.
At CETUL, I learned that I could do something about it and that as a worker, I had rights.
Desde que me uní a CETUL, he participado en entrenamientos sobre derechos de los trabajadores y desarrollo de liderazgo.
Since I've been a part of CETUL, I have participated in a number of trainings about our rights as workers and leadership development.
Actualmente facilito reuniones a nuevos trabajadores de cómo pueden ser parte de CETUL y conocer sus derechos.
Currently, I facilitate meetings with new workers about how that they can be a part of CETUL and know about their rights.
Los trabajadores se sienten seguros en CETUL y reciben información de personas que se parecen a ellos y que han pasado por las mismas situaciones de abusos y robo de salario.
So many workers feel safe at CETUL where they are getting information from people who are just like them, other workers, about what's happened to them, who have faced the same situation of abuses and wage theft.
Muchos de nosotros no nos sentimos cómodos de acudir a hablar con los empleados municipales.
Many of us don't feel comfortable coming ourselves to talk with city employees.
Por eso es importante la relación entre la ciudad y Setul.
And that's why this relationship between the city and Seagull is so important.
Es importante que los trabajadores estén capacitados, repito, capacitados, para formar a otros en el lugar de trabajo.
It's important that workers are trained and given capacity in order to train others in their workplace.
Y en la comunidad, esto constituye una amplia comunidad de trabajadores que conocen nuestros derechos.
And this builds a broader base of workers that actually know their rights on the job.
Y saben qué hacer si hay problemas en el lugar de trabajo.
And know what to do if there are problems at work.
Pedimos al Consejo en pleno apoye la financiación adicional para la aplicación conjunta del 2004.
We ask that the council support and increase this year for our co-enforcement work in 2024.
Esperamos ser escuchados y aprobados. Gracias. Que tengan una buena tarde.
De nada.
Thank you.
Thank you. Our next speaker is Feliz Cast. I'm not going to try. I can't really make out the spelling of the last name. Speaker number 22, Feliz. One more time, speaker number 22, Feliz. We'll move to our next speaker, and maybe Feliz will, maybe he's in the bathroom. Is that you, sir?
No, I'm Randy Seagull.
Oh, our next speaker is number 23, Randy Seagull.
Good evening, Council, Mayor. Thank you for your time. I own the CC Club on 26th and Lindale, and my partner owns French Meadow Bakery and Cafe. And I'm here to talk about the parking problem that is going on right now with the bike lanes and what's proposed down the road. There's a couple facts I'd like to state about our businesses, first of all. In December, it'll be 90 years since the CC Club's been in business. French Meadow Bakery and Cafe, 40 years. Lynn Gordon, who's my partner, was the first certified organic baker in the United States. Now, if you want these two businesses to still be around, we've got to be able to have our customers come to our restaurant and bar. Since COVID came and the bike lanes went on 26th, we lost 26 parking spots. Now they want to take away more parking. Business is down in the area of 30 or 40% of most of the businesses in this area. So if this keeps up like this, obviously, being a business person, you can't sustain any more losses. And people aren't going to come to Uptown right now with all this crime and stuff that's been happening and park 3 blocks down in a residential neighborhood and walk up to 26th and Lindale to have a beer or come into French Meadow to have dinner. It's not a workable situation, and I think you got to put a nix on any of these new lanes that they're talking about, and also rescind the bike lanes on 26th Street. Turn those back into parking spaces. Thank you for your time.
Thank you so much. Speaker number 24, Kawhi Washburn, but are you Kawhi? Thank you. I was just going to check if you were Felice, but you are Kawhi.
No, I'm Kavai. It's pronounced Kavai.
Kawhi. My apologies.
Members of the City Council, Mayor Fry, my name is Kavai Washburn. I'm a resident of Ward 13, the Armitage neighborhood to be exact. I'm here to speak in support of the Climate Legacy Initiative, particularly the $10 million proposed initial allocation via franchise fee increase. For those of you that were present at the previous hearings on that franchise fee increase, You're already aware of my comments in which I described having been born and raised in Hawaii, where many of the lands I hold dear to my heart will most likely be significantly damaged or even annihilated by climate change. That same damage has followed me from state to state, and even here in Minnesota, where the heat waves are getting worse and the rains aren't arriving when our farmers need them. I'm here to request that any programs developed as part of the Climate Legacy Initiative be designed to support block by block full decarbonization, not just weatherization, but the elimination of oil, gas, and fossil fuel infrastructure in homes and small businesses through union-supported contractors and prioritizing green zones in low-income neighborhoods where pollution is the highest. Just for emphasis, I'll say it again, it must be full decarbonization, block by block, union-supported, and initially target the most disenfranchised neighborhoods of Minneapolis. This is the only way to achieve the drastic emissions reductions we need to save the place where I was born while simultaneously supporting union jobs, low-income immigrant, and historically disenfranchised communities as we move to a clean energy future. I thank you for your time.
Thank you so much. Speaker number 25, Russell Brown.
Council members, Councilwoman Jenkins, Mr. Mayor, thank you. My name is Russell Brown, and I'm a student at the University of Minnesota Twin Cities and a resident in the Como neighborhood. I'm here to urge you to include a municipal sidewalk clearing program in the 2024 operational budget. Unsafe sidewalk conditions continuously impact Minneapolis residents, especially students living in off-campus neighborhoods. Everyone deserves accessible sidewalks, and I'm relying on you as our local governing body to solve this issue that affects our region every single year. As a full-time student, I try my best each year to keep my sidewalk clear and free of snow, and I'm fortunate to be able-bodied and able to maintain the sidewalk outside of my house to the high standards set by the Minneapolis City Ordinance. I am, however, concerned for my neighbors and classmates with disabilities who rely on the kindness of strangers clearing their sidewalks and their own sidewalks to make our city accessible for them. This is a flawed system. The Minneapolis City Council needs to take action to prevent further injuries and uneasiness resulting from icy sidewalks. Sidewalks should be accessible to all, and I ask that you consider my experiences and vote to include a municipal sidewalk clearing program in the 2024 budget. Thank you all so much for your time.
Thank you so much. Our next 5 speakers are number 26, Katie Smithberg, 27, Alice Show, or Snow, I'm not sure. Number 28, Ula Nielsen. Number 29, Abdul Kadar Daher. And number 30, Omari Thomas. Welcome.
Thank you, council members and mayor. My name is Katie Smithberg, and I am a junior at the University of Minnesota. As a resident of Dinkytown and a concerned student, I am here to urge the City Council to include a citywide sidewalk clearing program in the 2024 Minneapolis operational budget. Unsafe sidewalk conditions continuously impact Minneapolis residents, especially students living in off-campus neighborhoods where sidewalks are poorly maintained during the winter months. Everyone deserves accessible sidewalks, and I am relying on you as our local governing body to hear my concerns and take action. Unsafe sidewalk conditions have been a consistent part of my own experience and those of my peers as an undergraduate student. I have heard countless stories from others about how dangerous getting around in the winter can be in Dinkytown and Como. People have shared accounts of hitting their heads, breaking bones, and general fears of travel during the wintertime due to icy sidewalks. Whether it's walking to class or a bus stop, people are uneasy. This should not be a concern for students. The current protocols in place for maintaining sidewalks are not working. Therefore, we need the city to step up and ensure that Minneapolis residents can get around safely. I, too, have felt unsafe on Minneapolis sidewalks, and I've chosen to walk on the street in order to avoid them because the risk of getting hit by a car seems less daunting than trying to get down the block. Last winter, I slipped multiple times. Luckily, I never suffered serious injuries as a student. However, I do know the danger of ice, and I have a scar on my face from the 10 stitches I received after falling on ice. I also know that getting around in the winter is even more difficult for individuals with disabilities. The issue of slippery sidewalks in Minneapolis is one that needs to be taken seriously. Minneapolis sidewalks should not be injuring our students and citizens. The Minneapolis City Council has a duty to prevent further injuries and fear resulting from icy sidewalks. Sidewalks should be safe and accessible to all, and I ask that you consider my experiences and vote to include this in the 2024
Thank you, Ms.
Minneapolis budget.
Smith-Berg.
Thank you.
Our next speaker is Alice Snow or Show, I'm not sure.
Alice Shaw.
Shaw.
Yes. Good
Welcome.
evening. Oh. Good evening, City Council. I come before you today to express why I think the Minneapolis sidewalk plowing pilots would be great for our city. I love Minneapolis. I moved here 5 years ago for school, and I feel that Minneapolis has so much to offer and is a great place to live. Originally from California, I have adapted quickly to the cold and enjoy the snowy winters. The one thing that still scares me is the icy sidewalks. I'm dreading them this year, especially after how bad the winter we had was last year. Since moving, the running joke on campus is the annual fall count. And it's a shared experience of telling each other how much we fall near campus. I've lived in Dinkytown for the past 4 years, and the ice buildup is awful and dangerous. As amusing as it is to joke about, having a solution that prevents people from getting hurt is something the council should seriously look into. I realize that cost might be a point of contention, but it would benefit almost all residents of the city. For students like myself, our commute to school would be way easier and the fear of slipping on ice mostly alleviated. When the walks are icy and slippery, I often have to take alternative routes to get to class, which ends up taking additional time, and have to walk slower to avoid slipping. In addition, our landlords also don't take care of the sidewalk plowing for us. Taking the bus is also a hassle because more students opt to take the bus, making buses fill more quickly. And then I'm definitely scared of taking a bad fall, and I'm dreading thinking about the winter because of it. And then I think if there's a chance to make Minneapolis more accessible in the winters, the council should take it. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Shaw. Our next speaker is Ulla Nielsen.
Hello, council members. My name is Ulla Nielsen. I live in Ward 8. I'm here to just say I'm super excited about the Climate Equity Plan and the Climate Legacy Initiative and about the opportunity to build wealth and address racial disparities in our city with these programs. And one of the really important ways to do that is by making so we have a lot of work to do. We have a lot of buildings to transition to clean energy. That creates a lot of jobs. And we want to make sure that those jobs are union jobs so that we are really building wealth in communities. And in order for those jobs to be union, we need to do this work on a large scale, like a whole block, several blocks at a time, not just one house at a time. And so that's what I'm here to speak to. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Next speaker, number 29, Abdul Qadir Dahir. Is speaker number 29, Abdul Qadir, here? One more time, Abdul Qadir Dahir. We will move to speaker number 30. If Felice and/or Abdul Qadir show up, we will allow them to speak. Please come forward. Speaker number 30, Omari Thomas.
Good evening, City Council members and Mayor. My name is Omari Thomas. I'm a Ward 5 resident and a workers' rights organizer for the New Justice Project Minnesota. I'm here to testify for increased funding for the co-enforcement partnership between the city and community organizations. This partnership is one that works for all parties, especially for the vulnerable workers, especially Black and brown workers. Some of these workers have no idea what they are entitled to when it comes to earned sick and safe time and even wages. This leads to wage theft and overall worker exploitation. Furthermore, from what we hear, their schedules are unfair and sometimes don't even know when they are working until they are called in. This leads them to be behind on rent, bills, and less food for their families. The work that I do for NJP as part of the co-enforcement partnership provides workers with a voice and a place to be heard and a vehicle to hold bad employers accountable. If the city is real about racial equity, it will understand that workers of color in Minneapolis spend every day fighting tooth and nail to make ends meet and don't have time or sometimes even feel they have the power to make a complaint to the city about being mistreated at work, and that what makes the co-enforcement work crucial to helping workers get what they are owed. Workers deserve a voice and they deserve all the support they can get. And one of the most clear ways to support them is increase the co-enforcement budget by $225,000 in 2024 and set a base level at $800,000 in 2025. These hardworking Northsiders need to know their rights and their benefits the same way their employees, what they owe them. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Thomas. Our next set of speakers, number 31 through 35, Carmen Allen, Leticia N., Estela Tirado, Joey Risica, and Michael A. Johnson. Please step forward, Carmen Allen. Is Carmen Allen here? Carmen Allen. If not, we will allow Carmen to speak. If they do appear, we'll move to the next speaker, Leticia N. Can we add an extra minute for interpretation, please?
Buenas tardes a todos.
Good evening, everyone.
Mi nombre es Leticia.
My name is Leticia,
Soy miembro de CETUL
and I'm a Seagull member.
y estoy aquí para dar mi testimonio
And I'm here to give my testimony
de cómo fui despedida injustificadamente
of how I was fired unjustly
y discriminada
and discriminated against
solo por ser de Guatemala,
only for being from Guatemala,
por una manager nueva que se presentó en nuestro trabajo
that happened from a new manager that came into my workplace.
y nos empezó a insultar con palabras vulgares,
This manager began to insult us with vulgar words,
amenazas de forma agresiva
threats of an aggressive manner
a 7 trabajadores de Guatemala.
to 7 workers from Guatemala.
Fuimos despedidos por esta manager.
We were fired by this manager.
Nos organizamos, conocimos a CETUL.
We organized ourselves and we met Seagull.
Hemos enfrentado al patrón,
We have met our boss,
pero él no nos ha regresado el trabajo
but he still has not yet returned our jobs.
y vamos a seguir luchando hasta conseguir una respuesta.
And we're going to keep fighting and organizing until we get a response.
Por eso nos importa que este consejo nos apoye
And that's why it's important for us that this council supports us
con más fondos para el confortamiento
with more funds for co-enforcement
de leyes mejores para invertir.
and better laws for investment,
Para los trabajadores necesitamos más información
because as workers, we need more information
de cómo defender nuestros derechos.
of how to defend our rights.
Gracias.
Thank you.
Thank you. Next speaker is Estela. Speaker number 33, Estela.
Buenas tardes a todos.
Good evening, everyone.
Mi nombre es Estela.
My name is Estela. This is Freddie.
Mi niño se llama Freddy.
My son's name is Freddie.
Hello, Senor Freddy.
Vengo a dar mi testimonio. Hi.
I'm here to give my testimony tonight
De lo que yo he vivido injustamente discriminada.
I'm here to give my testimony of how I was unjustly discriminated against.
Hace unos años trabajé en un restaurante donde me estaban robando mis horas de salario y no me estaban pagando ni el mínimo. Afortunadamente conocí a esta organización llamada CETUL y ellos me ayudaron a conocer mis derechos.
Unfortunately, a few years ago, I was working in a job where they weren't paying me the correct minimum wage and they were stealing my hours and my pay. Fortunately, I was able to meet the organization CETUL.
Me ayudaron a cómo defender mis derechos y me armé de fuerza y valor para hablar con el manager para decir que me regresara. Fue más de $500 de salario robado y gracias a sí recuperé el salario robado y por eso es que hemos venido el día de hoy para pedir apoyo, que nos apoyen con más dinero para las organizaciones como CETUL y para los trabajadores para que podamos continuar y nos ayuden como trabajadores.
So fortunately, I was able to meet CETUL and I learned more about my rights and how to defend myself. And I grew stronger and increased my courage to be able to speak with my manager about the incorrect wage and the hours that I was owed. And I was able to recover more than $500 back from my employer for the wages that were stolen. And that's why I'm here today, to ask that y'all invest more money in workers and organizations like CETUL that support us in knowing our rights and are able to stand up for ourselves.
Para que no otros trabajadores no pasen de lo que yo he pasado, para que haya justicia para todos los trabajadores. Y gracias.
And that is so other workers don't have to go through the same experiences that I have, so that we have justice in our lives and our workplaces. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Next, we have speaker number 34, Jody Rosica, then speaker number 35, Michael A. Johnson, speaker number 36, Kelsey Murphy. Welcome.
Hello, my name is Joey Rosica. I'm a renter in Ward 1. And I'd like to say thank you to the City Council and to Mayor Fry for your united support of the $10 million of funding for the Climate Equity Plan in Minneapolis. It's really encouraging to me to see the entire city leadership in agreement about something as big and important as this. I see climate change as being an existential threat to my generation. And so I'm glad to see decisive action being done at the federal and state level, and now here at the city level, to address the crisis. I think we in Minneapolis have a lot of potential to show really the rest of the country what bold climate action at the city level can look like. And so I think that this plan is a great start to what I hope can turn into something even bigger in the coming years. There's so many homes that could benefit from electrification and weatherization, and meeting this need will require ambitious scaling of the climate equity plan in future years. People in green zones in particular, who are bearing a disproportionately high brunt of the effects of climate change, can stand to gain quite a lot from the retrofits that this plan could provide. But even to cover just these green zones alone, we would need substantially more funding in the years to come in order to ensure that homes there meet their needs within the next 10 years. And so, as we look to pass the budget, including the Climate Equity Plan for 2024, and as we celebrate that, we also need to start asking ourselves, what's next? Is this going to end up being a nice one-off win that we do once and then move on from? Or can this turn into something bigger that we can eventually have to serve all people in Minneapolis at the scale that we need? Thank you.
Thank you. Michael Johnson. Hi.
Hi. My name is Michael Johnson.
You guys are great at raising taxes and spending more money on more government every single year. It's amazing. Last week, I watched one of the hearings for this public safety appointment of this judge, and only Councilman Osmond, from what I could tell, asked any reasonable questions, like why is there a revolving door? And that judge knew exactly what you were talking about. He knew exactly what you were talking about. But everybody was just chomping at the bit to approve that guy, who, by the time he comes and goes, that $250 million library is still going to have drug addicts in it, drug dealers in it, no repercussions, revolving door. And he knew exactly what you were talking about. No government bureaucrat is coming to save your community. But he did give a speech that I could have written from every other speech that was given, all the typical little buzzwords of holistic, restorative justice, everything that tickles the ears of the people in this city, but produces no results whatsoever. Kids get shot, people are overdosing, but the people who peddle these drugs, nothing happens. Because apparently they're just victims of society. So raise your taxes, raise your property taxes, whatever you want to do, it's going to result in the same nonsense. That's all I got to say. Thanks.
Thank you. Next, we have Kelsey Murphy. And then speaker number 37 is Phil Anderson. Speaker number 38 is Howard Doffson. Welcome.
All right, good evening, Council, Mr. Mayor. I am Kelsey Murphy. I live in Ward 3, just off of 2nd Street, and I am here to speak on the $10 million raised by the Climate Legacy Initiative. Like previous speakers, I am pretty enthusiastic about what this money means as a way to really get the ball rolling on climate action in our city. I want to reiterate just how important it is that we use this money to launch action over the next decade and longer. We have a lot of work to do within the city, and $10 million, like I'm sure you're all aware, dries up pretty fast. So I think in this next year, we need to put it towards the most effective possible projects that we could to mitigate climate action, both next year and in the long term. I believe that means investing in neighborhood by neighborhood retrofits and electrification, starting in our green zones. The folks in the green zones are the people historically most disadvantaged. Their homes are the least healthy to live in, the least energy efficient, and by addressing their homes first before anyone else's, they will be able to access resources that they historically have been kept from, and it will also have the highest immediate impact that we could hope for in the span of a year with $10 million. Thank you.
Thank you. Phil Anderson. Phil Anderson. We'll go back to Phil. Howard Doffson. Howard Doffson. Next, we have Sue Goodstar.
I'm right here.
Oh, I'm sorry. Sorry, Howie.
Good evening, Chair and council members. As usual, I have a homework assignment for you. I want you to watch on YouTube, Will I Lose My Dignity from the musical Rent. 30 years ago, I was in New York City working at a detox and methadone clinic. So this community has been in my heart for 30 years. No stigma, no shame, love and compassion for the brain. The opiate epidemic has cost 1 million lives since 1999. Only 10% of people that need access to treatment who are suffering from opiate substance abuse disorder get access to treatment. Humana and health partners got dinged for violating the mental health parity law. They got a speeding ticket. The whole system is jacked because it's all about profit, not about the mission of access to health care for everybody. The racial ethnic health care disparities for African Americans and Native Americans is alarming. African Americans don't receive the MAT at the level that white patients do. Next 15 years, there's going to be $565 million. Over 15 years, there's going to be opiate settlement money. The mayor should take that staffing position from their first settlement and put that in the budget because that's 4,800 Narcan that's not out on the street. You're going to budget it next year. You might as well budget it now. And we're asking for the city and the county to give us Narcan to put in little houses, like the little houses with books. I'm asking churches, synagogues, mosques to adopt a house and put Narcan in it. The city and county bring the Narcan to that house of worship. The staff can equip it, monitor it, restock it. We need much more Narcan. There's only 70,000 on the streets right now. People are dropping like flies. Please save lives.
Thank you, Howie. Our next speaker, number 39, Sue Goodstar.
Good evening, Council. My name is Sue, and I'm from the Phillips neighborhood, and I've been a member of Seagull for 2 years now. Since coming to Seagull, I've learned about earned sick and save time, minimum wage, wage theft, and unlawful termination. These things are all very important to me as it has affected my good friend Lola, my sister Adriana, and my son. All these rights have been violated against them. First with Lola, she was terminated from Cub Foods on South Side because of the fact that she was LGBTQ. If I remember, Ms. Jensen,
Lola.
you were there? Since then, she has been lawfully employed. That was my first Seagull event. My good friend Ignacia and I went and supported Lola. Since then, I've been able to share this information that I've learned with my sister and my son. My sister's job, I went to my sister's job to demand her rightful minimum wage because she's been working there for quite a while and was only receiving $13 up until when I went in there on July 1st or 2nd, something. When 15 became law, then, and she was still getting, after that, she was still getting the 13. I went in there and corrected that. Since then, she discovered that she was owed back wages of 2 months of nearly $4,000 that she hasn't been paid. She's asking for her back, since asking for her back pay, she's been fired because she...
Thank you, Sue. If you have your comments written, please give them to the clerk. We'll make sure we get them into the public record. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
And our next speaker is Jamali Kling. Jamal Kling? My bad. Sorry.
It's okay. Common occurrence happens often. Hi, my name is Jamal Kling. I'm a member of New Justice Project and also someone who works directly with some of the workers that NJP organizes. I currently work in Ward 5 at Twin Cities Recovery Project as a peer recovery coach with forensic endorsements, re-entry coordinator. I got in this work to help advocate and bring the voice of the people who struggle with substance use disorder, mental health, and who are justice impacted, homelessness, and unemployed. I myself work in the service industry for over 15 years, and in most cases I was offered less than minimum wage from the work I did. One experience in 2021, I worked at the saloon. I was making sub-minimum wage and also knew nothing of the paid sick and safe time benefits. Our manager did not tell us we had these benefits, and when minimum wage rose, I was also not given the raises I was owed. Additionally, during the COVID outbreak in 2022, I got sick and took off work to care for myself, but was never told I could take sick and safe time. This led to me losing my job because of the time I missed. The world was in a global pandemic and my employment did not care about my livelihood. Imagine if I had an organization like NJP come to me and tell me that my coworkers, that we were being underpaid and exploited. Imagine the money me and my coworkers lost out on. As a victim of wage theft, no one should go through what I went through. Want to be very clear, workers of color all over Minneapolis don't feel like they have the opportunity to challenge or our employees because we are usually working to keep a roof over our head or food on the table. The co-enforcement partnership allows for outreach and education to workers like me and workers like the saloon co-workers who just never had or been told or given the opportunity of the wages and benefits they were deserved. So that is what we want to see the co-enforcement budget increase from $225,000 in 2024 and a base
Thank you,
of
Jamal.
$800,000 in 2025. And thank you very much and
Thank
have a
you so
lovely day.
much. Have a great day. I deeply apologize. I skipped one speaker, Melissa D. Cruz. Please approach the.
Good night, everyone. Thank you.
Hello, Melissa.
Okay, let's see. Okay. My name is Melissa de Cruz. I worked for 21 years giving voice to victims of domestic violence at a non-profit agency in St. Paul. I came to Seagull because I was laid off after I complained to my executive director about receiving frequent discrimination and harassment from my direct supervisor. Harassment of any form should be taken seriously. It breaks down your mental health. And little by little, you find yourself not being able to sleep well, to eat well, or to think straight. The treatment was so bad that I became so anxious and needed to seek therapy. Thankfully, a friend of mine directed me to Seagull for help. Through Seagull's guidance and support, I was able to meet with an attorney to get information about my rights as a worker. There, I also met other people who had experienced rights violations as well, and I didn't feel alone anymore. All of these experiences give me the strength and knowledge to file a case with the EEOC. This is one of many reasons we are here. We are asking for the funding of the co-enforcement not only to continue, but to be increased for the benefit of the workers. So this way, organizations like Seagull can continue supporting, organizing, and empowering workers. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Melissa. And again, I apologize. Next speaker is Anita, and I'm not gonna go for the last name, even though it seems pretty phonetically easy to pronounce.
No worries at all. Hi, my name is Anita Venkateswamy, and I'm a resident of Ward 1 in Northeast Minneapolis. I want to talk today about the budget for the Climate Legacy Initiative specifically because within the next 5 years, I want to have kids sometime, but I'm really scared of what climate change means for their futures. I don't want them to live in a state where they're not able to breathe clean air. And I don't want them to see the horrors of the wildfires and the hurricanes and the floods that are displacing so many people across the globe. It's urgent to act now to slow down and reverse the effects of climate change we have been seeing. In order to build a better world for my future kids in the next generation, we need to prioritize how we spend our budget in our city, and we need to act right now. We need to focus not just on the weatherization of homes, but the decarbonization and the electrification, which will help us reduce our carbon emissions even faster. And by the time my kids start school in 10 years, I want this plan to be rolled out, especially for their classmates with language barriers and with low incomes and in green zones, because I want my children to grow up in a more equitable world than I did. The only way that we can achieve equity as we pursue climate justice is if we do this block by block and not house by house, because many people don't have the resources on their own and the time or the experience to figure out how to decarbonize and electrify their homes. I appreciate the City Council for giving me this opportunity to testify on how to help spend the $10 million for the Climate Legacy Initiative, and I urge you guys to take action now and create a robust, concrete plan that will help not only my future kids, but the future generations and the generations to follow. Thank you.
Thank you, Anita. Our next speaker is speaker number 43, Fernanda Acosta. Good evening.
Buenas tardes, Consejo de Minneapolis, Presidenta Jenkins. Mi nombre es Fernanda Costa, soy una residente del 9º Distrito de Minneapolis y estoy aquí para hablar a favor del Plan de Equidad y Clima y la iniciativa del Legado Ambiental de Minneapolis. En la madrugada del 25 de octubre, el huracán Otis de categoría 5 arrasó con la costa del estado de Guerrero en México, dejando atrás una devastación que hasta el momento no ha podido ser evaluada o comunicada debido a que el estado quedó completamente incomunicado. Este huracán se intensificó de tormenta tropical a categoría 5 en un lapso aproximado de 24 horas, por lo que mucha gente no tuvo tiempo para prepararse para su llegada. Esta es solo una de las historias más recientes de devastación y desplazos causados por condiciones extremas a raíz del cambio climático. Los patrones de migración a nivel global no son una coincidencia, y es por eso que iniciativas como la del Legado Ambiental de Minneapolis, pilotos de electrificación y descarburación de hogares cuadra por cuadra y trabajos sindicalizados que impulsen la descarburación son tan importantes como parte de la resiliencia en nuestras comunidades, para quienes ya estamos aquí y los que están por llegar, sin excepciones. And I can interpret for myself.
Oh.
Good evening, Council,
Can we
President
add
Jenkins.
more time, please?
Oh, yes, thank you so much. Mainly for the people that are watching on the live stream, because I know that interpretation is not always available there. Good evening, Council, President Jenkins. My name is Fernanda Costa. I am a resident of Ward 9 here in Minneapolis, and I'm here to speak in support of the Climate Equity Plan and the Climate Legacy Initiative. In the early hours of October 25th, the coastal state of Guerrero in Mexico was struck by a Hurricane Otis. Otis intensified from a tropical storm to a Category 5 hurricane over the course of approximately 24 hours. It leaves behind a level of devastation that is still unknown to us due to the fact that communications are down in most of the state. This is just the most recent of stories of devastation and displacement caused by extreme conditions due to climate change. Global migration patterns are not a coincidence, and that's why initiatives like opt-out, block-by-block energy upgrades, and access to unionized jobs that drive decarbonization are so important in climate resilience for the displaced communities that are already here and those that are yet to come. No exceptions. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Our next speaker is number 44, Rachel Thompson. Good evening.
My name is Rachel Thompson. I reside in the city of Minneapolis. I've lived here my whole life. I work for the city of Minneapolis in the street department. When I first got hired, I was so excited to tell people, like, I work for the city. I work for the city. Now, when they ask me, I'll be like, I work for the city. I feel like our wages are very below average. Solid waste right now, they're starting at $36 an hour plus a $5,000 signing bonus. We are starting at $18. There's a huge difference in that gap. I also feel like our safety working here is an issue as well. I've had a gun pulled out on me when I was doing the sweep. I had no moral support from any of upper management. We also had some homeless encampments we had to do where people would chase us with bats and things like that. I also feel like during the pandemic, we didn't receive any type of incentives for me and my fellow coworkers coming to work, putting each other and our families at risk. But most people that worked in this building was working remotely from home. When we could have been like the rest of the Americans and collected unemployment and did way better doing that than actually coming to work, putting ourselves at risk with our family. I work two full-time jobs. So I spend more time with my fellow coworkers than I do with my family. And I feel one job should be enough. It really should, but it's not. And I feel like we need to change that. We need to invest more in the people that actually do things for our community, that go out there and we do everything that our people from the city complain about.
Thank
but
you,
I don't
Rachel.
feel like, that was 2 minutes?
That was 2 minutes. Thank you so much.
Okay.
Thank you. We got your point. Our next speaker is speaker number 45, Eustavio Orozco. He had to leave. Our next speaker then is number 46, Wilfredo Sanabria. Thank you. The next speaker then is Carmen Hernandez.
Hello, my name is Carmen Hernandez. I stand here before y'all because I am here standing before you guys asking for funding for SATULs. We have won the fight for 15 sick and safe time, and we fight for labor rights, and we educate our fellow workers. I'm also asking for less money to go to policing because I have personally lost family members to the hands of the police. As you guys know, I stood here in this very same spot last year crying about how we lost Brian, which was live streamed on Facebook. Something that no one will forget. It made news. We have children that need better education. We have people out here that are sick that are needing medical, and we have homeless people that should be housed. I just ask that you guys really look at the bigger picture and lift up your blindfolds and see what's going on around you. What's right is right and what's wrong is wrong, and I ask you guys today to make a difference. That's all.
Thank you so much.
That's it, that's all.
Our next speaker is Osman Mumtaz.
Thank you, everybody. You may know I've been here before. And right now I'm with the Lindell Project and Stop Funding. That's Open Street. And what you have done to the Hennepin, we don't want the same thing to be happen on the Lindell, because we have cry, and we are still crying. And those street parking, you're going to take it, bus line, bike line. I know the bike lobby is very, very strong, and they are the one they are supporting you guys. But please, don't do same thing. And as far as prior to me, all these speakers, they were speaking, I do agree. If you want to fund, if you want to support the workers, the environment, so please don't do what you have done to the Hennepin, and we are still crying. And one more thing, the climate solution. If you're going to cut all those hundreds of trees, and then you will realize, oh, we cut the tree now, we are going to go green. And the cars which are going to be idling on the street, what about that carbon emission? And like a long-term, I will tell you the simple solution for the environment. If you're going to keep dropping and supporting those warmonger people who are supporting those unnecessary wars, the climate, we are living in one simple globe. We are not living in the Mars. You drop the bomb one where, and the effect is not going to be coming here. So we are living in one planet, planet Earth, and we need to stop supporting these warmongers, and our tax money has to be here. Our workers, all these people, they need money. And stop hurting those small businesses which are trying to survive. And none of you guys, we don't get any help, but we get harassment, taking our parkings away.
Thank you, Osman. Thank you so much. Thank you. So the last speaker that we have registered this evening is Andrew Wiley. Nope. No, the other one. There you go.
Hello, my name is Andrew Willie, and I live in St. Paul. And I
I work in Roseville for Burlington Coat Factory. I'm a strong proponent of co-enforcement and strong support for co-enforcement. I think it's like $800,000. Reason why I say that is Roseville, they do not support strong wages or working conditions. I work as a door greeter at my job late at night. No fair safety conditions to where I have to fend off violent criminals from attacking myself or especially my coworkers. So what co-enforcement through, say, TOOL and other organizations like this means is a multilingual, not just English, but Spanish, Somali, and any and all other languages, multilingual support to uphold workers' rights. So upholding workers' rights, that just can't be done through regulations through the city or state or county. Co-enforcement means that volunteer organizations like SATOOL can help workers understand their rights so they know about safe working conditions, so they know they can fight sexual harassment, they know they can get $17 an hour that they deserve and not the $12 or $13 an hour like I started at right after COVID. And the other thing, co-enforcement, we need health benefits, better health benefits, and that's a SATOOL and all other organizations can start with. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Willie. That completes the list of registered speakers. And with that, I will close this hearing. I will remind everyone that we will have our second public hearing on Wednesday, November 1st at 10 a.m. I want to thank everyone who participated in this hearing tonight and everyone who spoke and or submitted comments. Thank you very much. We do appreciate your engagement in this important work, and that helps to move our communities forward. And before I adjourn this meeting, I will ask, are there any announcements from my colleagues? Are there any announcements from my colleagues? Seeing none, I will move to adjourn this meeting. Actually, I won't move to adjourn this meeting with nothing further to come before this council. And without objection, I will adjourn this meeting.